But yeah, please ask questions. I'm try my best to explain everything, but any confusion, please speak up. Oh, wrong button. So my name is Raphael. I'm a software engineer and smart contract developer. And I'm also a Uniswap ambassador. So my goal is to educate all of you guys and really grow our Philly community in Uniswap and get more developers to build. So this is all being taken care of by the Uniswap Foundation. Um, if you're not familiar with the Uniswap Foundation, they are a partner of the Uniswap Labs. Uniswap Labs are the core developers of Uniswap, and the foundation funds a lot of their initiatives. So they focus on onboarding developers, funding research, and also funding audits for selected processes. So today I'm going to go over how Uniswap got to V4, go over the architecture, some hooks, and then how you can take the next steps. So what is Uniswap? Uniswap is a AMM and allows traders and liquidity providers to collaborate. So in a decentralized way, liquidity providers pool their assets together and traders swap against that permissionlessly. So any user can swap with it, or any smart contract can interact with it as well. So 2018, V1 came out, and V1 started off with just a single ERC20 to ETH pairs. So if a user wanted to go from USDC to DAI, they would have to go from USDC to ETH and from ETH to DAI. Very, very cumbersome. They had a small 0.3% fee, and anytime users want to create new pools, they would call the factory contract and create new pool contracts that way. In 2020, V2 came out and took away native ETH support. So anytime users wanted to use ETH, they would have to wrap it, and we can now do ERC to ERC20 pools. So now we can go from USDC to DAI directly. Same factory contract we call, and we have a 0.3 fee there as well. V3 kind of changes a little bit, but works on a lot of the fundamentals of V2. And we have more fee options, and now we can control our liquidity. So V3 kind of changes a lot, so I have a slide dedicated to that. So V3 uses this thing called concentrated liquidity. Come over here, and in V1 and V2, when liquidity providers provide their liquidity to the AMM, it goes across the entire curve of the AMM, which is cool. You can get all your swaps done. Liquidity never leaves the pool, but the assets, but this is not capital efficient, because some of the swaps that can happen on the curve, traders will never do. In V3, we can now have concentrated liquidity, and now liquidity providers provide their liquidity at specific price ranges. And the benefit of this is users now can get more out of their swapping fees, as only when the swaps happen in this range. Does that make sense? Any questions there?
So on the left-hand side, point to the topmost box. You're saying a trader would never trade there.
Yeah, you wouldn't do like.
That just doesn't make sense.
You wouldn't trade 1 ETH for a penny, but liquidity providers are providing that liquidity at that position.
And therefore, are they missing an opportunity?
Yeah, they're losing out on just like capital efficiency. They're still gaining fees. In this process here, there's no such thing as being out of range. Everyone who provides liquidity gets swapping fees. Here, you can be out of range, and you don't have swaps that happen in your pool. So you don't get any swap fees, but you could at a later point if the price changes. This is V1, V2, and this is V3. So V4 works on this same premise here. So another shot just to show again. So most of the liquidity is all at the current price. This is like out of range. So in range, these are what's called the tick spaces, where the liquidity providers provide liquidity, and the higher the bars is the amount of liquidity at different prices. So it allows kind of like a more stable price at that point. Cool. Okay, so work off of that. So V4 is live. Went live around in January 29th, I believe. And I got these numbers yesterday, so they're about a day old, so they're pretty good. Almost at $100 million in TVL, 45 million for daily volume, total swaps. Here, most action is on mainnet ETH. Base is close second, and Arbitrum is third. And this is hook development, pools being initialized using hooks. So let's get into V4 architecture. So now native ETH is back. No need to wrap. Use directly. You can directly use the native token, and these are the main components of what V4 has. They have a singleton design, hooks, flash accounting, and the new ERC 6909. Yes.
Flash accounting, is that like flash loans?
It's kind of like that, but not in the traditional sense of what a flash loan is in DeFi. But I'll get into more, and you'll see why. So we'll start off with hooks. So we have software developers here, and I've learned about hooks through here and through React, but I was told there's like other types of hooks you can like hook onto different functions in like your operating system and then trigger certain things when different events happen. So hooks kind of do that thing, but for our pools. So you look here, this is the life cycle of a swap. First, the user initiates a swap, checks to see if there is a before swap flag. If not, we continue, execute the swap. Then after swap, we check to see if there is an after swap flag. If so, we do it, then we return. Any questions?
Who specifies the value of the flag or swap flag? Is that the person creating the transaction?
No, this is all part of the hook. So wherever hook you're using, this is already.
How do I know there is a hook? I want to use that hook.
In initialization, you can check and see. So when you initialize a pool, like before, you kind of can initialize a pool. You initialize it with a fee. You initialize it with the tokens you're using, and something else. Here now, you can initialize it with your hook.
So I'm starting up this pool, and I'm saying I want these hooks.
One hook. So I go back. Well, I kind of go to the next slide here. So these are the different areas that you can add different functions. You can use all of them. You can use just one, but you can only use one hook. So if that hook allows you to do all those things, great. If it only allows you to use one, great. But yeah.
A little bit dense. Let's say I think there's multiple pairs, multiple contracts for the same pair. Do they have different hooks?
We'll get to that. Yes.
Are the hooks basically just like hybrid functions? Passive callback or something?
Sort of like that. There's a callback that happens. It wasn't really in the slides, but I'll try to come back as we go because it kind of leads into the singleton design. So no contracts for each pool. There's only one contract now that controls all the pools. So it kind of answers or get your question going. So this is how it looks previously. To go to ETH from DAI, if there isn't a direct pair, we have to call this contract to get our USDC, and then we can swap now for DAI. So external call. Here now we have just one contract, which is the pool manager. Pool manager does a similar thing, but all in one contract and just keeps the custom accounting keeps the accounting inside of here. So it still decrements and everything. We want to swap that, we want to do that, but it's all in one call. Does that make sense? Cool. So because of that, way less in gas fees. So we went from $57 to $4 on mainnet using this design. So that swapping I kind of pointed out earlier is the flash accounting. So in this example here, we can make a swap for some token that we want, and then we can immediately add that to our liquidity position all in one call. So anytime we want to interact with the pool, we can do multiple things in one call. So in this case, we started off with 20 USDC and 20 tether. We decrement our 5 tether. We put it, or our USDC. We increment our tether, and then we add those to our position. Again, with all the low, or without all the external calls, we have really low gas, and even LP providers are benefiting because they're getting higher returns on their positions, even with way less TVL.
Liquidity provider puts up money for the pool. Are they able to pull it out at any time?
Yes. There can be. A hook can give you, like, penalize you, because inside the, like, after remove liquidity, you can get decremented. But
you have control over that.
It depends on the hook. So previously there wasn't that case in V1 to V3, but in V4 you can have that as a custom hook.
So would there be like for each pool there's like a separate hook that's associated with each like swapping pair? The one that you pretty soon.
I'm gonna say yes. It sounds right. Yeah.
Putting it all together into one.
Exactly.
Is there multiple examples of this pair with different hooks?
In theory, you can have hooks talk. You could have some weird loops. Yeah, literally infinitely, because you can have infinite amount of hooks in theory.
How would I know what I'm using for hook, or how would I know what I'm going to get from the hook?
I guess you hope your hook tells you. Yeah, your hook tells you what it's doing. I mean, you just hope they tell you better, because anything can happen in the hooks. You will want your developer or whatever platform it is using to tell you what their hook is doing.
Can I specify which pair I interact with?
Yeah, like depending on the application. So it's just like using any. So you can choose which hook to use, and then specify I just want to use that hook because that hook does whatever that I want to do. Did I answer your question?
I thought the hooks were initiated.
Yeah, for a particular pool.
I have to know which hook a particular pool is using.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, yeah, like it's any DApp, right? You want to know, like the DApp should tell you what it does. It shouldn't, you wouldn't just put your money in anything. Your DApp tells you this. Yeah, your DApp does this and yada yada yada. So there's some more applications now. We can get into it. So there's also a new ERC 6909. If developers want to keep their ERC20 in the contract to do 1 million swaps, for instance, they can do that without increasing their gas cost. So you have your ERC20, you could put it in the pool manager mints this 6909. You still control the 6909, but you can do your swaps in there for lower fees, and then keep it in there until you're ready to take it out. It burns the 6909, and you can take out your ERC20.
Is this what the Singleton, like that structure?
There's the flash accounting?
Yeah.
No. So if you do a swap, for instance, at the end of swap, you get your ERC20 out. This is saying, don't give me my ERC20, just give me the 6909 because I'm going to swap again in the next second or something. Yeah. So I kind of talked about this here. So some hook examples. QR code. This is Vertex Protocol. They created a Tornado Cash base hook, private swaps. So there's Bunny. Bunny tries to maximize LP profits by taking the out of range liquidity, sending it to a lending protocol, earning fees, compounding, and then coming back if their position comes back into range. And then Flaunch is a meme coin launchpad where you can decide the trading fees. Where do they go? How much are they? So the foundation believes these are like the type of hooks that you can currently build. We kind of talked about this with Bunny, with the LP profitability, liquidity depth. I like to think of this as kind of what V3 does. It kind of gives you more depth at different positions. So they believe you can even make more depth at different positions there. Asset class support, sort of like Flanch, where you can choose the type of tokenomics you want to add to your pool. And then quality of life for limit orders, SWAM, and Oracle resistance.
So are all the hooks pre-built, or can you create your own?
So hooks are built, but you can create your own. And the Uniswap Foundation believes these are the categories you want to be looking into. Open Zeppelin has a library out currently. I've used it in a project, works pretty good. So if you want to build, you can go there. And other ways to get involved, you can go to the Uniswap Discord. I meant to have QR code here, but no luck. Also, a builder update newsletter. And if you want to get more hands-on, there's an 8-week program for you to build your own hook. They go through the process of telling you what, like kind of what I talked about, why V4 or how V4 got here. It takes you through from V1 all the way up to V4. At the end, you build a capstone project and you can win cash prizes. QR code for that. Cool. Thank you. Any other questions? I like the Open Zeppelin repo if you just want to get something started. They give you some base hooks, some base customization of hooks, and they allow you to do your own custom accounting. So you can control like where the liquidity goes, like the liquidity providers. You can really choose how much liquidity they get back, and you can do a lot of crazy things. So I like this. Yes. I think it made it better. I forget the numbers exactly, but because the positions are a little bit more stable, they don't go as they're not as volatile. Yep.
In one of your examples, you said that
Yeah, Bunny.
when it goes out of range.
Yes. Yes.
Does that mean that something is watching these contracts and able to pull the money and move it somewhere else?
Yes. So you can do in like the before swap, you can make sure there's liquidity at the position, makes the call to the whatever to the lending protocol. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, or send other ones that are now out of range because these are in range and send those there. Yeah, Bunny handles all that. It's called rehypothecation, I believe. I think we're at 200. That's what this was showing. There we go. Yeah, around or a little above 200. But it's going up very fast. Ooh. Well, I can. Yes.
Every conversation I've ever had about smart contract, people talk about how people can hack it.
Yes.
What's the discussion about how this can turn into a complete disaster?
It's funny. The answer to that is Uniswap never gets hacked. So that's the that's what they say.
Uniswap might not get hacked, but
The hook,
anyone
yeah.
can build their own hook.
Exactly, yeah. So
So
a hook can be vulnerable. So
it adds another layer
of complexity. Yes.
complexity.
Yeah. Hooks can be very malicious because yeah.
What's the process for me knowing as a user what hooks are?
I mean,
I gotta read the document.
you gotta do your own research.
So right now it's V4 by default there's no hooks. Huh? When you go on Uniswap V4 and wanna do the liquidity, there's no associated. Yeah, and you can add
When I do the transaction.
Yeah, as part of providing liquidity. Or you can, as a Boonie, as an example, they already have a full UI around it, so you know what are you interacting with. That's just
That's what you said. Initialized. So I see there's all these initialized pairs, and I get to choose which one I want to use when I make the transaction.
yeah, as part of providing your liquidity. Yeah, right now there's no on the official Uniswap for UI.
Yeah.
Protocols, hooks.
I think what you're bringing up is like aggregator. I forgot which aggregator was like touting that they had free hook providers. So like if you're interacting through that.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, guys. Oh, anything?
I was gonna say like the swapper account.
Yeah, the LPs. Yeah. Cool, cool. Feel free. More food. Move around. Enjoy space. Thank you.